Intercultural communication of the country Philippines. Filipinos are usually very warm and friendly people who enjoy conversing with those around them. It is common to find strangers engaging in conversation or sharing stories to family, friends, or foreigners about their hometown. Filipinos are often expressive and sentimental while maintaining a light-hearted demeanor. Filipinos are generally wary of their actions and how they want to convey a message, either verbally or non-verbally. That's because in Filipino culture, people value self-respect, pakikisama or togetherness, and avoid offending anyone as much as possible. Good day, I am Angela Rose Garingan from Midwifery 1. Communication. Verbal communication, a type of oral communication wherein the message is transmitted through the spoken words. Here the sender gives words to his feelings, thoughts, ideas, and opinions and expresses them in the form of speeches, discussion, presentation, and conversion. A form of oral communication in which the meaning is conveyed using spoken words. In this section, the sender communicates his emotion, views, ideas, and opinions through speeches, discussion, presentation, and conversation. Communication style of Filipinos. Filipinos will try to express their opinions and ideas diplomatically and with humility to avoid appearing arrogant. The tone of voice varies widely by language, dialect, and region. Filipinos will strive to express their thoughts and ideas diplomatically and with modesty. The tone of voice differs greatly depending on the language, dialect, and location. Indirect communication. Filipinos often communicate indirectly in order to prevent a loss of face and evoking hiya on either side of an exchange. They tend to avoid interrupting others and are more attentive to posture, expression, and tone of voice to draw meaning. Speech is often ambiguous and Filipinos may speak in the passive voice rather than the active to avoid being perceived as speaking harshly. To find the underlying meaning, it is common to check for clarification several times. It conveyed not just by the words used but by non-verbal behavior such as poses, silence, tone of voice, and widely shared understanding of the context of the communication. Next, we have refusals. Since many Filipino try to save face and avoid hiya in their interaction, many will be overly polite and seldom give a flat no or negative response. When conversing with your Filipino counterpart, try to focus on hints of hesitation. Listen to what they say and also pay close attention to what they don't say. It's like your neighborhood told you to eat at their house and then you said tapos na po or busog pa po ako. Respect. When speaking to those who are older or of higher status, Filipinos tend to use the polite forms of speech. At the end of paraphrase sentences or questions, they will say po to demonstrate this respect for hierarchy. For example, when conversing with an elder or someone of higher status, one will say salamat po. Nonverbal. It is the transmission of messages or signals through nonverbal platform, such as eye contact, facial expression, and gestures. Physical contact. Among relatives or friends of the same gender, It is common for Filipinos to walk hand in hand or arm in arm. This is generally done so as a sign of affection, friendship, or if they are shy and would like someone to accompany them. Filipinos tend to be modest and conservative in their interaction with their significant other, and public displays of affection among couples, such as kissing or hugging, is quite uncommon. Personal space. When interacting with people they are familiar with, Filipinos tend to prefer standing at an arm's length from one another. Around strangers, this distance is farther. However, in public areas like a market or subway, personal space is often limited and pushing is common. Laughter. While Filipinos often laugh in conversation, the meaning of laughter tends to depend on the situations. At times, laughing may indicate happiness or pleasure, while other times it may be used to relieve tension. In some circumstances, laughter is used as an attempt to cover embarrassment. It's like recitation, even though it's hard to answer, but you should still be able to smile so that they don't notice that you are nervous. Pointing. Filipinos may point to objects by puckering their lips and moving their mouths in the direction they are pointing to. Don't be alarmed if you see someone in the Philippines on the street pointing their lips at someone or something. This person isn't asking for a peck on the lips, but is giving instruction. Instead of lifting their finger or arm, Filipinos commonly use their lips to point to an object or another person. This gesture is called nguso and shouldn't be taken as an invitation for a kiss. Gestures. Putting one's hand on their hips is a sign of anger. Beckoning. The common way to beckon someone is by gesturing with the hand facing downwards and waving fingers toward oneself, the same gesture that wouldn't represent shooing. In Australia, if a Filipino wants someone's attention, it is common for them to make sound like psst. Other example of gesture: pagmamano. In the Philippines, showing respect for one's elder is a tradition that has been preserved for generations. The honoring gesture called pagmamano involves a younger person asking for an elder's hand and gently touching their own forehead within while bowing. The practice is common whenever someone visits relatives or meets their godparents. Handshaking. Just like in the most countries, handshaking is a default gesture of Filipinos when meeting someone for the first time. While both men and women greet each other through handshaking, it's usually the person being introduced first offers their hand. In some cases, men have to wait for women to offer their hand first. Beso-beso, cheek to cheek. This gesture was previously only common among members of high society. Eventually, show business in the Philippines picked up on it, and it has now become a routine greeting among Filipino women. While some women are comfortable practicing beso-beso with their male friends, it's not generally acceptable to do this gesture to someone you've met for the first time. Eye contact. Western cultures see direct eye contact as something positive. However, that's not the case in the Filipino culture. While it's necessary among professionals as it indicates confidence, not all locals are comfortable making eye contact. especially if they're meeting for the first time. If that person refuses to look at you in the eye directly, it may indicate they have a high level of shyness. Prolonged eye contact can make someone feel uneasy. On the other hand, when Filipinos shoot a fiery, silent look at their children, it sends a signal to kids to stop what they're doing. We have a quotation: "We build our futures together in the word we exchange today." Thanks for listening.